Good morning, everyone. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. We're just getting in the office, and today we're doing a hair transplant procedure. So we're going to be using the Artas IX to move about 2,000 grafts on a gentleman from Houston to try and fill in the whole front area and a little bit towards the back as best we can. So we're going to be working today on that most of the day. So I'm going to try and give you guys a little preview as to what it takes to do all this. And the first part of that is doing this. And then the patient's gonna be here in a few minutes, so we're gonna get him all set up and then we'll get him in the chair. Setting up the Artas IX doesn't take long and it's pretty easy to do. However, we'll skip all that for now and get right into the procedure. When that's all done, it's off to get our patient's hairline designed and his scalp numbed up for the start of the day. Our patient on this day had a thinning area above the occipital protuberance, or that bony area you can feel on the back of your head.
Protuberance is right here.
This didn't leave us much room above that part of the scalp to work with, and so because of that we opted to go below the bony ridge as well as above to get more grafts. We also dyed the scalp a dark brown color because the Artas system sees dark hair better than blonde, gray, or red hair. The dye is temporary and usually washes out in a couple of days.
We're going to try to get the most we can back here, and then we'll that because this coarse hairs gets a lot finer right there.
Once the lines are reinforced and everything's set, it's time to get in the chair.
Start with the drink back first. Make you comfortable. Okay? Can you breathe through there?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to test you here just to see if you feel anything. Feel any poking on me?
Nope.
Feel that?
Nope.
Once we make sure the patient's scalp is completely numb, we bring in the robot to acquire its yellow skin tensioner and then draw in our borders where we want the robot to work. Before really getting going, we take a few test grafts and examine them to make sure our parameters are good. If the first 10 grafts look great, we let the robot run, all while I monitor the machine to make sure it's doing exactly what we want at all times. And just because the robot is doing all the precise harvesting doesn't mean I get to sit back and relax. There's a lot of moving around the room during this procedure.
Nice. Another grid done.
A lot of that movement has to do with moving the yellow skin tensioning device. This device serves two purposes. The first is that it allows the device to know where it is at all times by mapping out the dots along its border. The second thing it does is that it makes the scalp tight by stretching it out. This allows the needle and the core to more easily penetrate the skin. It makes it easier for us to extract the grafts at the end of the grid. At the end of each grid, we have to release the tension bands and then move it on to the next area to harvest. Once we get the tensioner set in its new position, we retighten the tension bands and then inject some saline in the four corners to give the tensioner a more even turgor across the field.
Okay, I got that skin turgor nice and tight. There we go.
During the course of the procedure, we run through a number of grids, and the total number really depends on the amount of grafts we need. While the robot is harvesting grafts, one of our technicians is carefully extracting the grafts and then passing them off to our second technician, who is examining, sorting, and counting the grafts. Typically, the harvesting process takes about 4 to 5 hours. When we have the total number of grafts we plan to take, we do a final detailed inspection of the harvest areas to make sure we don't leave any grafts behind. When we're certain we have every graft harvested, we move to our implantation room where we numb the front scalp again to either make recipient sites if they haven't been made before, or to begin implanting the grafts in their new homes. While the Artas IX can make recipient sites and implant grafts at the same time, I tend to reserve the use of robot implantation for smaller cases. Manual implantation with 2 people working together makes the implantation process a smoother experience for patients in larger volume cases. Okay, so let's stop right there and let's talk about what we do with the grafts once we've extracted them all from the scalp. So once we've extracted them all, we take them and we sort them out. So grafts usually, when they come out, either have 1 hair growing out of them, 2 hairs, 3 hairs, 4 or more hairs growing out of the graft. So we have specific areas of the scalp that we use these grafts for, and I'll show you right here. You'll see that this is our patient from the video that we've been working with. And if we take this and let's select the red color here, and the red color is going to be our single-haired grafts. So our single-haired grafts are usually reserved for the front hairline because these help give us the natural hairline that everybody sees. You naturally can see through a little portion of the front of the scalp in most people. and you can see just a little ways back. So we usually take the red color here would be the single hair grafts, and then what we do is we take the next color, which we'll take as yellow, and these will be the grafts with 2 hairs. So we typically alternate these single and double hairs, or double haired grafts, for the first 1 to 2 centimeters back from the front hairline. And that tends to give us the most reasonable, the most natural looking result for the hairline. So next, when we have grafts that have 3 hairs in them, we'll take them and kind of intersperse them a little bit and fade them in with the 2s a little bit towards the front here. But then we really use these to do a lot of the heavy lifting to provide that density that we need for the scalp. And that's all done through this area here with the 3s, and then when we run out, we'll bring in the 4s and fill in these areas. But it's really the grafts with 4 or more hairs growing out of them that really give us that density that most people are looking for when they have a hair restoration procedure done. So red is the singles, yellow is the doubles, green is the triples, and then the blue as 4 or more hairs growing out of the graft. So that should give you a pretty good idea of how we plan our approach once we've obtained all the grafts. So I hope this video has given you a good idea of what a day is like here at the Texas Hair Restoration Center, and what your day would be like should you choose to have your procedure done here with us. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you don't want to miss anything, hit the subscribe button, and leave us some comments down in the comments section below. Let me know what you want to see on the next video about hair restoration or the Artas IX, which we have here, and we'll see you on the next video.